Get things set, and I'll bring them out. Please, please help this brother grow. Go ahead and like and sub up. This channel has a little bit of everything, and I'm trying to provide it for you. Get this horizon set a little bit better. Do it like that. So, here we go. Now, not green. And we have butters. You know, get their munch on. Hello, hello, welcome to the channel. Good afternoon, sugar. How you today? I finally got my chat working so I can see y'all. So that's a good thing. We're starting this live up with my two tortoises. They're African horned cicadas. They're still babies, but they got some good size. So the bigger one is Yanni Blaze. The smaller one is Buttercup. Oh, that's nice to hear. I gotta let these guys graze for a little bit, then I can possibly show off the 420 garden and stuff. Oh, wow. Yeah, I just looked over mine. Yeah, mine are big too. I just did a little short on them. But this is part of the morning routine. These guys, their main diet is grass. Trying to tilt the cam to get a better pick. One you can lean it so far. Yeah, in a little bit I'll walk through the garden. Right now, just showing off Johnny and Butters. They're about 6 years old. Actually, take that back. They're 7 now. They're still babies. They're still babies, but growing fast. Um, the average is about 150 years. they can live. And they'll probably grow about big as a Volkswagen Beetle. That's about how big they grow. So right now they're nowhere close to that size, but they're pretty big. Bigger. To give you a reference. Yeah, boy. Oh boy, it's me. It's me. Look at the butt rub. Get the butt rub. I don't know what to eat. Yeah, they're big boys. Well, hello, 90 Day. Well, I'm free roaming them now, but because their diet is 90% grass. Well, I take that back. Yeah, about 80% grass. Other than that, they're vegetarians, so things like squash and uh, tomatoes and things like that. But with them mostly eating grass, and that food bill's pretty low. Just got to sit them in the front yard for about an hour or so, let them eat. Far as cost, I got them 7 years ago, and they were 400, I believe, $400 each, and they're worth a lot more now. Right now, I say about 1,000 each, because when I first got them, that was about 3 inches, but now they're way over a foot and still growing. Now, usually I let them free roam in the morning, but I got up a little late, so it's gonna be an afternoon roam for them. And the rest of the day, they're in their pen. They got their own house and their own little pond to soak in. And see, their origins is the Sahara Desert on the edge of the grasslands. Is where they're mostly found. Let me get in a screenshot. Put them out a little bit so I don't need to tilt my phone so much. Oh, they will outlive me, and probably outlive my kids too. Butters, butters, butters. Then Johnny. Johnny, you gonna say hi? You gonna say hi? No? Yeah, that'll work. I don't need to tilt the cam as much. Cheers to my 420ers. I'm gonna get bacon here in a second. And thank you for those likes. That little bit of support helps, you know. Got Jinx the cat over here meowing. Jinky. Stinky Jinky. Don't rub the tripod, you don't knock it over. It's definitely a hot day today. I've only been out here for like 20 minutes and I'm already sweating. So if you got gardens, don't water your garden at this point. You gotta wait until tonight when things cool off. Unless you will get wilted. Any questions on the tortoises, just throw it in chat and I answer it best of my knowledge. If you want to Google them up, they're African horned cicadas. If you want to find out like specific information. So as far as eating time, you got to let them eat for 4 hours a day. And I usually start off the day about an hour on just grazing grass. That's their main food. And other than that, it's mostly vegetables, you know. And some leafy stuff like baby spinach and collard greens and things like that. And once in a while you give them a fruit, so they'll have an apple or strawberry or something later on. And during the summer they're outside, during the winter they're inside. They got their own cage and stuff inside, so they don't like the cold. You figure they're out from the desert. Grasslands, the Sahara. Yeah, the chickens, when you're raising up chickens. I mean, as far as them being around other animals, I mean, they're fine. They roam along, the chickens don't bother them. And they're plated up, so if they get pecked, it ain't gonna hurt them, you know? You figure I got a handful of cats, and shoot, they pay no mind to them. Yeah, but the good thing with chickens, though, you got fresh eggs. Yeah, I decided to get them because, you know, I got all these ordinary pets like cats and dogs and stuff. And I just wanted a exotic pet, and that's what I come up with. I mean, with these turtles, they're low maintenance. See, look, there's Jinx there, saying hi. They won't bother each other. Jinky, stinky Jinky. Mare, hello. Hey, don't be doing that on camera. sitting there trying to clean herself. Oh, kisses, kisses. You see, not even timid, neither one. The only thing you gotta worry about when you roam them to let them eat grass and stuff like that, you really got to keep an eye on them because they'll keep going. You turn your back for a little bit and they'll be gone. They'll take off quicker than shit. Well, quicker than shot. I watch my language here lately. You got 11 hens and one rooster. So one alarm clock for the 11 to, I guess, 14 eggs in the morning. And then you got an alarm clock to wake up and eat fresh eggs. Phew, it's pretty hot out here. I think it's 90 is what I think the thermostat said when I walked out. I mean, it ain't hot, but it's hot enough to make you sweat. These tortoises love it though. Usually more heat, more activity than being cold-blooded. I do appreciate those likes, folks. There for a while I couldn't do lives or anything. More or less my phone was ruined by the rain, more or less. Rain and water, the ocean took care of it. So I had to get another phone. But apparently before my chat box didn't work, but apparently it was all in the phone. The phone was glitching. So I just ended up getting a new one. New phone. And it took a couple days to link everything up. But I'm up and going again. I'll start these lives on different things. I think yesterday I was doing the Phragmite cuts and stuff. Cutting down the swamp a little bit. Then on top of that, picking up more jobs on the side. But today is gonna be my relaxed day. Gotta recoup. Golden Comet. Yeah, I see Golden Comet. And I bet the rooster got some good colors to it too. Yeah, I know in the garden my tomatoes ain't doing good this year, but everything else is doing good. Oh, and my grapevine finally died out. More or less, I had it on a lot of land, but I ended up having to sell that section of the land. So I decided to transplant the grapevine, and it didn't survive the transplant. So it didn't grow this year, so I got to redo all my grapes. But like my sweet peppers are nice and healthy. My herbs are growing pretty good. That 420 grow is doing excellent this year. You guys get to see that in a little while. Right now I gotta get these turtles fed up a little bit. So when I say I do natural fertilizers, these are the guys that provide me with my own fertilizer. And it works great. It works great. You'll see. Yeah, chickens work too, but you gotta watch the like how you use chicken poop, because you can burn your plant out with chicken poop. If you use too much or you put it directly on the roots, it'll kill the plant. You gotta, I think it's 1 foot from your plants you can put chicken, and you have good nut traits and stuff. With theirs, I can put it right on the root, and shoot, they love it. It's all natural. And I just let a bunch of like ladybugs loose. I got praying mantises, and in the garden I got flowers to attract dragonflies. So far as pest control, I use bugs to take care of the bad bugs. Good bugs versus bad bugs. And they do pretty good. So my plants never see any kind of chemicals. I have a rainwater collection site, so I use rainwater to water, so I don't use faucet filtered or store-bought water. I just use rainwater. More or less buried uh, a sauna tub, or I guess you would call it a hot tub with jets, and all the rainwater collects in it. Then I got a pump in that which pumps it through a hose so I can water the garden. So it's about, I would say, 100-gallon rainwater reserve doing it that way. Then and it's open top, and I got bullfrogs in there to keep the pests down in the water. So it's more or less like a bullfrog pond that serves the purpose of collecting rainwater for my 420 grow. So it's 100% natural. And I'll be vaping today. Just got 2 new vapes out of Ocean City. Hybrid cookies. Show you real quick. More or less bought 2 of them, and I've been hitting on it for like 3 days, and it's still going pretty strong. Let's see. We have an ant problem. They keep stripping our yeah, ants are a bastard. That's why that's one of the reasons why I got dragonflies, because the dragonflies will eat all the ants. They'll eat regular flies and stuff like that. Then the praying mantises, they eat all bugs. Then the ladybugs, they eat all the mites and the microscopic bugs. So between those 3 bugs I use for my garden, I'm pretty well ant free. Now I might see a spider now and again, but depending on what spider it is, if I will remove it or keep it. There's some good garden spiders, but I haven't seen one yet. I think they call them corn spiders or zipper spiders. That little dark cloud coming. I hope it ain't gonna rain. NASA's flying their jets. If the wind's messing them up, you might have to thin out the leaf a little bit. You thin out your inner part of the 420 plant, and so that more of the wind will blow through it. I have one plant who was crazy, got wind damage. And that's when they were like real small. There was only like a foot high when I first put them in the ground. And I put them in the ground, and they took root. Then one day I watered them down. Then I went out back into the swamp and climbed up on my overlook on the swamp for about an hour. And when I come back, one of my plants was missing. I'm like, who in the heck came and stole my fucking plant? You know, then I got a camera on it, you know, because of thieves. I mean, I never got stuff stolen, but it's always good to be prepared in case somebody does have sticky fingers, you know. So I started looking at the camera, and apparently, one of them that got ripped straight from the bottom of the stalk with a wind gust. Fucking, it blew away like a little tumbleweed, you know. That made me mad, but then I put a little barrier around to help direct the hard wind. And we get wind here too. I'm more or less right on the ocean, so if it blows in from the east, we have high winds here. Yeah, I'm basically on the water. The ocean's behind my house. And that there's like a section of swamp, then you got the channels, then you got the ocean. I'm right on the edge of the mainland where the islands start in Eastern Shore, Virginia. Actually, we hear the planes in the audio. That's NASA Wallops Island doing their test flights. I haven't been back to the view deck in about a week now, so Phragmites probably done grown up. Oh, you got them in pots. Well, that's good things when you have them in pots, because then you can bring them in on bad weather and move them around. You can rotate them so you get a much fuller plant, things like that. And me, I start off in pots, but when they get about a foot, I put them directly into the ground. So it's 100% outdoor. Then this year, I usually do about 5 plants, but this year I had quite a bit. I got 14 Skywalker OGs growing, so they're kind of clustered up a little bit because Skywalkers grow big. And I believe they're at like 9 foot right now. With one topping. They all been topped once. I'll walk around and show you real quick while they're grazing. I just can't stay away from them too long. See there, that's door pen. That's their house. And see, then we got the green peppers, the cannons, got rose bushes, dillweed, got shoreline grasses, more roses. More roses. Walk around the garden. But yeah, there we go. The wind's getting through them right now. There, Creamer the Screamer. Yeah, but just to show you, they're tall boys. You figure you gotta look up. You figure I came and reached the top. So that's about 9 foot. Then the ones in the front are 4 footers. They got and they're just now starting to flower. Got little fuzzies on them. So, and another I say couple weeks, they'll be stacking up pretty good. No, it's just me during harvest. It's just me doing it all. I know last year I was thinking about hiring somebody just for pruning, but I think I'm not. I'm probably gonna do it all again by myself this year. What? Creamer Screamer? Screamer. The Screamer. Wow. And they're just starting to flower. I think it's like day 4 in the when I first started the flower. Seen the flower. I was getting worried for a little bit because it was a little late for them to switch over. But as soon as I seen it change, I changed my watering habits. So hopefully they'll boost up and get thick quick. What do you want, Creamer? Why don't you go hop on the cam? Well, go see Johnny and go see Butters. Go. Go on, go see how they're doing. Yeah, I got a lot of cats. I got 9 cats and a dog and 2 tortoises. So I'm full of pets. Only one cat. Sometimes I wish I only had one cat, but you know how life is. I think most of my cats were strays at one time, and I take them in and I go get them neutered, fixed, get all their shots done. You know, and then we had one cat kept having babies at first, so yeah, we got up to more, but we ended up giving some away and things like that. And right now we're at 9 cats. I like to get it down a little bit lower because the price of cat food is, oh my god, kills the bank account when you got 9 cats. There's one going under the trailer over there, and underneath the camper. That was Lynx, and I got Creamer next to me. Jinky was somewhere. She was about 30 minutes in on grazing the tortoises. I usually try to go for about an hour. Let them get their fill on. Graze them for about an hour, then I put a bunch of veggies in their pen. I think today I probably put tomatoes in there, let them eat up on the tomatoes. And I got some sweet potatoes for them too. So their veggie diet will be tomatoes and sweet potatoes today. I usually put collard greens in there too, but they done ate all the collard greens I had. They're eaters. But luckily their diet, it ain't that much to feed them. Better than the cats. And another thing they eat is roses, the flower. Let me get a rose. I got. What do I got? Come here. You usually eat it out of my hand. You must be getting full. Yep, he just back to eating the grass. I gotta get them back over in here so they don't go under that camper. Get up, big boy. Yeah, he took a bite of it. Oh, Rose. They're like little mini lawnmowers. I hope everybody's having a good day, and I do appreciate those likes. Tell me about it. I feel the heat. Like I said earlier, I was only out here for like 20 minutes to start sweating. Waiting for that sun to move a little bit so I can get more in the shade. But right now, I gotta get these turtle grazed up. I mean, it's been 40 plus minutes now, so another 20 minutes I'll put them back in their pen and we can go sit out in the shade in the garden. Do some one-on-one with the females, the 420ers. And that one strand I got in the side yard, ooh, so you're a little bit hotter than what's here. Right here is 90, I think, feels like 94 or 95 or something. It was like that when I walked out. Now we're in the heat of the day, it could have got a little bit hotter than that. But what helps us out, how we're right next to the ocean, we do get that cool breeze. So it helps out. I'm working away across the yard now. It might burn me a little. Get my thing out. What I'm toking on. Show you real quick. Here's the packaging. Got a nice indica cookies. There's still one in here, but this is what they look like. It's a 2,000 milligram or something like that indica cookie. Live resin. So cheers. Damn. Hit you like a brick. Ah, yeah. Always cough a little bit on the vape. It's the moisture part of it that gets me. Ah, yeah. But this is the first one I've seen that's like flat like a pancake. Macy's just like a cookie. With the bite taken out. And that's your intake, rechargeable. And then the power in the corner. But this is the first one I found that's like a pancake. And it's real good for the pocket. You know, it fits in, you don't gotta worry about crushing it while it's in your pocket. So it's well designed. It's just different. I'm used to, you know, seeing like tubular and like an actual pen. But yeah, me too. It's the first one seeing one like this. Yeah, it looks like a cookie, but like the design's like a coin bit, then that's their slogan. And then on the other side, you got the blue with the C. Yeah, let's show you the package again. See, here's the packaging for it. It says, you can tell it's an indica. I like being stoned, so I'm a stoner. I'm an indica guy. It comes in like this. Then you pull the little tag and cookies. Now, I like it so far. I mean, it really does the trick. It, especially because it's indica. I always say indica because you'll get into the couch. But shoot, I'm a everyday smoker, so an indica is more or less I maintain my high. See, that one hit a little bit smoother. That first hit choked me. Hello to the newcomer. Let's see you hop in. Welcome to the channel. Right now we're covering the tortoises. And any questions, just throw it in the comment section or the chat section, and I'll answer it best of my ability. And thank you for that like. That's really much appreciated. Sitting behind the can meditating. See, the turtle's been grazing 48 minutes, so a little bit we'll sit them down, and we'll sit up over by the 420 ladies. That Skywalker OG I got growing is just flowering and growing tall, about 9 foot right now. Oh yeah, now it's going pretty smooth. Cheers to another day of survival. And there's one of my skier eaters. Yeah, I don't know why it's losing connection. That's weird. Well, it is a new phone, so. Excuse me, I got a snot rocket real quick. Ah. That's another thing about an indica. It sure clears the lungs. Oh, we got one that took off. Let me get them gathered up. See, that quick one tried to slip off. And crazy, they're still babies. Don't you go over there. Butters, I'm gonna put you back in the pen. He's walking off. Ah, sorry about that. Cats done knocked the tripod over. That one right there, Jinx. You're Jinx, Mr. Jinx. Why'd you knock my camera over? Yeah, I'm gonna have to put Butters up. Not that. Mr. Jinx is going back to the pen. Well, not Jinx, but Butters is going back to the pen. You're a big boy. Johnny's bigger. But he wants to wander off, so I'm going to put him in the pen. And Johnny Blaze there, he's more tamed than Butters. Listens a little bit better. I'm a little crooked now. There we go. Straighten it up a little bit. Got about 6 more minutes to let him graze, then we'll move over inside the garden, get in the shade for a little bit. Because I'm feeling the heat outside. In the sunny part, at least. We gotta go to the shady part of the lot. Just eating, you almost see the darn path that he's grazing in. There you go. Thank you for everybody coming in today, and thank you for those likes. Much appreciated. Any kind of questions, just put it in chat and I can answer best of my knowledge. If not, I can give you maybe a Google reference or something where you can look it up and get proper information. Yeah, I had to put Butters up. Butters kept walking off. And I'm going to go ahead and get the food in their pen, because Butters going to be put up here shortly. Well, not Butters, Johnny Blaze is out, the bigger one. And they're African horned cicadas. Tortoises, not turtles. They're babies, 7 years old. They can grow, the average is 150, but there's been records of them going all the way up to 250 years. Then it's all how you maintain them. They can grow as big as a Volkswagen Beetle, so they can grow pretty big. These are still babies at 7 years old, and they still got size on them. But on that note, let me get the veggies in their pen. So that's more or less their second round of food is vegetables. So let me get that set up. Don't knock the pan over there. All right. As you can tell in that little bit of time. Time to blow up. Johnny Blaze. He's a big boy. For 7 years old. Can you say hi? Come on, you gonna wave your hand? Say hi? Oh, you gonna wave the other one. over. It's more or less their pen. They got an area where they can sew a little hut to get out of the weather. Put some sweet potatoes and chopped tomatoes down for them. So now we're going to be chilling over on the shady side. Hopefully it's a little bit shadier. Hate advertising. Advertising is starting to get on my nerves. Ooh, look at the ladies. Flip the cam. Get you set up over here. Legs down. There you go. The ladies. Sit your back a little bit. That 420 grow, baby. Chair set up. Sit in my shade. A little tilt. A little turn. A little bit of camera adjustment. So how's everybody doing today? Hope you all having a good one. Having a good one. Please, please don't forget those likes. You know that? Nope, let's get medicated. Quick show, quick follow up. What a here we get down on. Oh, you finally done with the outside? When I'm on. Everything's gonna be backwards now. Yeah. That indica will bite you. Na. The ladies are gone. We're good. We're starting to flower. They're itty bitties now, but I'm looking harvest time, maybe end of October. We'll see. Each plant grows different. But these skywalkers, shoo, they're big boys. You figure they're up there. That's growing trees. Huh? I'm sorry about the coughing. Usually the first couple of hits when I start getting down, they do bite me a little bit. I am pushing up there on age. Just had my 50th birthday. And I'm still kicking it. Been stoner since I believe the age of 9 is when I really started getting into it. And ever since then, it's an everyday bake-off, you know? Did it all my life through each job. Ended up becoming my own boss so I can smoke when I want to. I mean, my whole life is all around that 420. And that one was a little bit smoother. Lungs get used to it, you know? I prefer flour, but right now I'm limited on my flour, so I went and got these vapes. Live resin cookies. Turn it so you can see the emblem. Maybe I can get one free in the mail if I show their product off. You never know, never know. If not, it is what it is. Right now it's about done with the sun cycle. I got sun on my plants from morning till about 1 or 2. And then they go under shade. So it's about right now with my plants. It's like a 7-hour full sun, then about 3-4 hours of half sun, which is half sun is when you got shade but little bits of light coming through, and that just where you get some cover to it. But 100% organic. I use good bugs to eat bad bugs. I use my own fertilizers from the tortoise accumulates and things like that, you know. Um, Another thing that helps with the bugs and stuff is like milk, and it helps with protein. I actually get milk for that instead of using chemicals. You put milk into your feeding, or dust the ground in powdered milk. Little things like that will help get rid of the mites and stuff like that. Yeah, there aren't stalks on these are amazing this year. I mean, we're talking, and of course, you figure stretching 9 foot tall, they got thick stalks. So it probably reach to 10 foot soon as the full flowers form. Right now, they're just little itty bitty nuggets. Just started. It's only like 4 days in fact. Too much flower yet. So wait a month, it'll be really visible. Wait about 2 months, and they'll be humongous. And frosty. Oh, I can't wait for the frost to come. And I'm not talking the weather. I'm talking about the when the buds get frosty. And you can see the trichomes. Then they'll come in frosty. Then you gotta wait until it clears. And that's the beginning of harvest. If you want a more of a head high stoner, you harvest when it's clear. Then when it starts turning amber, it gives you a little bit more of a body high. I like doing it where it's clear, then it just starts to turn amber. Just starts. So you get the full THC out. And I'm talking about the triclones on the bud. You don't go off the triclones on your sugar leaf or any kind of leaf. You go off the trichomes on the bud. And there's 3 stages of that. It's frosted, which is like a whitish look to them. You got to get a jeweler scope to look too. But then they'll turn clear, then they'll turn amber. And depending on how you like your bud is when you harvest. So, the way they're going now, I'm looking at the end of October will be a ish of when to harvest. We have one. So behind me there's 14, and I grow these for YouTube in general. I do have more, but I don't show them all. Here lately, if you look at my channel, you can look at last year's harvest. Last year I did for YouTube, I believe 3 different strands or 4 different strands, something like that. And the year before I did 3 or 4, but this year for YouTube I'm only doing the Skywalker OG. And each year I'll be doing one top strand for YouTube, as in how to grow, my unique techniques to get at plants like this, you know. These behind me only been topped once. Usually I top more, but since the Skywalker grows taller, and as you can tell, I clustered them up a little bit. So I let them grow up taller before I did that one top. And that's all I did, was one topping. So there's a little bit less bud size, but since they're clustered up, I got 14 of them in about a, let's say 16-foot by 4-foot area. So it's like the arms are crossed in and come, you know, each one, but it's all the same strand, and all of them are females. So it's 14 females and one little side forest. You can pretty much call it a forest because how they're all in. You figure this is a plant and this is a plant, and they're touching, you know. And you might have a plant a little bit behind it. They're clustered in. It'd be nice to hit the right section. Cheers. Na 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 na. Yeah. Good product. So definitely recommended for a heavy smoker, a everyday smoker. A lot of people who smoke every day get a little immune to it. Just add this in your smoke routine, and you can get that stone, you can get that buzz, you feel good. I'm going on my grow. Let's see, you figure there's 14 there, I got another 14 in the back, and those are strands from like last year. So it's already reviewed and all that. Is just a second generation, and I got another one that's a third generation. The third generation is more or less my own strand I created, and I named it Truly Buds. Now, if you look back on my YouTube channel 3 years ago, you can see the first grow, the generation 1 being grown. And it's a nice tropical type bud that mixes like a blueberry, a pineapple, and an orange kush. So it's a fruity bud. It came out amazing. Then from that, I bred it with White Widow something Jack mix, and came up with the next strand, which I call Blueberry. Then now, Skywalker OG is the next mix, you know, into the next generation. But these here are not going to be germinated. I do got one in the shed that I am doing germinate with what I have in my other 2 gardens to create the next strand. And not quite named yet. This will be the first strand I add to it that's not on the fruit palette. And the reason why I'm doing OG this year is these seeds out of Canada. And in theory, since these seeds were formed in a colder environment, in a little bit windier environment, they'll stay in flower longer here and be more resistant. Now you just gotta watch for bud rots and things like that. But as when they're this big, a hurricane can come through and they'll be good. You know, as long as you keep thinning out, if you can see on cam, there's two rows and you can still see through to the next yard. You can see my grass. All right, so when you thin them out like this, you get more airflow. And so when there's hard wind, there's less leaves to catch the wind, and you get far less damage. It's a little grooming technique. Then on each plant, the bottom 2 arms to 4 arms, depending, how you feel like it, you just take off automatically when it forms. By doing that, you boost the plant up. Okay, so you have a taller plant. Now, if you want more tops, is when you pull from the top of the plant, and one will grow two, and two will grow four. And it's all up to the grower how many times you top it, how many times you lollipop it. Lollipopping is something like this, where you give it more airflow in the center. And all the way up to the top is like when it grows, you pluck off every other fan leaf just so the light from the top can reach to the bottom, and you get a good grow. Now, like I said, I normally top mine more, but with these and how this year in a room where only 4 should be growing, I got 14 growing. So they're clustered up. So I didn't top them as much because there's no room for them to push up, you know. And I did that mostly, to help with my next generation seed. And I'll still have a great freaking harvest season, because there's more plants. There's more plants versus one plant producing more. And it's different for each grower. Everybody has their own techniques, and it's hard to kill a pot plant. They are durable to even begin with. So whatever technique you try will probably work, and you just get a different type of grow. That's all it is. So if you go on YouTube, you see little 4-foot plants with 100 tops. Yeah, he topped them a lot and kept it small as a bush. You can pluck them anytime, yada yada. To growers to don't touch their plant and all natural, and that's when you see real tall ones. But everybody has a technique, you do you. You do your own research and you come up with your own way, then you're off to being a good grower. I've done it for years, so it's like I have my own old hippie techniques. Like part of when, okay, you do top them. Yeah, so these are top ones. It depends how much you want. More you top it, every time you top it, one become two. Then you can wait a couple nodes, top it again, those two will be four. And what you do, you end up with a smaller plant, but bushy as hell. But you need room for a big bush. So don't plant nothing no more than 4 foot around that plant if you do it this way. These are spaced out about 1.5 to 2 foot each. So the arms are growing within each other, but with me lollipopping and thinning the inner out so the sun comes through, they took on good and they're growing good. And like I said, I can't even reach up and touch the top of them. They're that tall. The only type of growing I don't do, and I don't dock anybody to do it, I do not grow autoflower. The reason being, all right, I like my vegetation state. because during the vegetation state is when you train your plant for to do what you want it to do. All right, on an auto flower, it more or less grows only so high and only produce so much because it goes straight into flower. You have no vegetation time. You have no time to grow extra branches or grow a larger bud site and things like that. So with all the flowers, even though it's when it comes to that factor, I like producing a lot because I support myself year round on top of my friends. And usually I usually say if you're a grower and you need a plant just to sit in the kitchen window, an auto flower will be good. You know, it's like people do that with like one little pepper tree or something like that. They grow one next to the kitchen sink and in the kitchen window. I mean, that's perfect for someone, an auto flower because then you don't got this big tree growing into your kitchen and taking up all this space. So an auto flower in a closed or small environment is good. I just don't do them. I'd rather have more product at the end. And you figure an auto flower probably produce the same as this one branch. Then if you don't get auto flower, there's, let me see, let me count on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17 plus branches. So times that one branch by 17, that one plant will yield 17 times more bud than if that plant was an auto flower. And it's like having an auto flower reminds me it's like having a clone. We clone off one branch, you have one branch, one big bud, and that's it. That's kind of like how an auto flower is. And I do clone, but I clone just to preserve it because when you run clones, clones take longer. So it's like I have a small harvest way in the winter. I still have a batch I can harvest if I wanted to. But I don't do many clones. It's like never enough time to really do a quick clone on it. And what it'll do, it'll stop flowering, reroot, and while it's rerooting, it will do a little vegetation, like switch back to vegetation state, then automatically go back into the flowering. I missed that comment, sorry. Let me back up. Huh. Yeah, it's having a top. They're easy to grow, you know. Um, I always say to like the new growers, start off with an auto flower so you can have it inside, keep your eye on it. Then you can like learn how to do bud structures and tame your plant and see how resilient these plants are. You know, yeah, I always say, I mean, if you never grew before, start off with autoflower or start off with a bag seed. And what a bag seed is when you go buy a bag and it has seeds in it. Start off with something you don't got much into, so you'll have a plant you can learn on. Like find that perfect spot in the yard for it to feeding techniques, trying to come up with your own thing. And as soon as you find something that works, go ahead and order you that top dollar seed and bow, there you go. You got skywalkers growing taller than you in your backyard. And by the way, if you say anything about what's behind me, there's only four. Make that one disappear. It's still got to be legal. Yeah, I got four plants. One four plants. One four plants. So 14 plants behind me. Taking the risk on that part. You figure all the years it became legal to grow in this state, and I follow the rules where you have to tag your plants and things like that. But within these actually I think it's 5 years now, 5 years legalization. But I had nobody come and check my grow. No bud authority, no inspector, come to me. So I might have slipped up and misread something, and that's more or less my excuse. And four, shit, I must not have had my glasses on. I thought I said even 14. My bad. You, but there's really been no inspection. I got another friend. This is no lie. Because the law is you can't see them from the road. You got to own your property, and that's what I got. I got thick bushes in the front of my yard, so you can't look up in my driveway and into and see the plants. All right. Um, this my friend, he actually took his place, and every 2 foot, all the way around his house, was a pot plant. He ended up growing like 50 plants out in the open, not really hidden, and nobody bothered him. Nobody snitched and none like that. We got a good place around here. It's called Trails End if you want to look it up. But it amazed me that, like, if you pull up to his house, you can clearly see in the road, plant, from the road, plant, and nobody did nothing. So I'm sure I'm pretty well safe putting 15 in a group here than hiding the rest. And you still can't see these from the road, you know, but I seen worse off openness type growing in here and nobody said nothing. And that's what they've been telling me. There's no official inspectors to come check out how many, what, and any kind of regulation. It's just a law. Well, on another note, cheers. Hope you're having a good day. Any kind of questions about the ladies behind me, just throw it in chat. If you like tortoises, hit rewind. I have my tortoises out feeding for a little bit. Right now, we're kicking back, we're enjoying the day, doing some live resin, and hope we got one packed up, twisted up. But any questions, comments? That chat box is working now, so hey, thank you for those likes. That's what I do this for, those likes buttons. Yeah, there's nobody to question. No question. I take you around the other side of these ladies. Do a little flip of the can. And here's my sun, where the sun hits them. Now I'm facing straight forward now to the can. And they're up there. I'm not, that's me reaching up. That's how tall they are. But the reason I bring you on the sun side, see, they're just starting. I don't know if the camera's focusing in. This is the new phone, so I'm not sure how good the camera is either. And you figure on the sun side, I got bud sight, bud sight, bud sight, bud sight, bud sight, bud sight, bud sight. There's enough here. But you just Get it in cam. There you are. They're just now starting. You gotta put some pictures on this card. Then you figure, let me step back. What I got going, you see the strip. Then it's 2 plants deep. See, like, look at that one in the center. That's a Christmas tree right there. Look at that. You see the Christmas tree? Walk up to it. And the wind is blowing a little bit now. I'm gonna pull it down a little bit. You see all the bud sites. See, the wind here is coming off the ocean. The ocean's just past those trees. And blah, blah, blah. My smallest one, though, is here in the front. I have one that actually moved forward that didn't really jump like the rest. And that's this one here. But yeah, that one, you figure here's number 2. Here's number 3. 4's behind it. 5's behind it. 6. 7. You figure, let me move that. There's 8. 9. 10. You know, start getting taller. There's 10, 11, and 12, 13, and 14 is behind it. And then the stalks. Oh, wow. Let me shorten the tripod so I can show you the thickness of the stalks. Down, down, down you go. We're going underneath. Going in the jungle. Lock it on short move. I'll show you the stalk. Get you in here. Give me a sec. There's a stalk for you. Oh, wait a minute. Darn leaf flipped the cam. Sorry. Show you. See, thick stalk. You figure pinky is about the norm. So thickest finger I got is my thumb. And thicker than my thumb. Then look up in the canopy, and I can see daylight up through. And then here's another tip. Alright, on your bottoms, sometimes you see how I'm trying to get it in pick. Oh, don't flip the cam again. Hold on, flip you back around. You see how like this one's a little yellow? Let it do that. Because what it's doing is pulling the nutrients up to the flower sites. So when it starts flowering, go ahead and leave on your yellows that form. It's like this one has 1 or 2, this one has 1 or 2 that are yellow. But that's like they do that for a nutrient boost. But yeah, there's the ladies. And I'll get you back set to this old lady wanted me. Here we go. The garden scarecrow. I usually start off on my shorts with him. That's my scarecrow garden. I usually use this, and I got a rubber snake. And a rubber snake would keep different rodents out. what it is. Just scare the different things off. Let me get you set back up with the 420 Grove. And I have to walk in and see what the old lady wants. Picking up a little bit. Alright, hold on, almost set. Get you in here. Let's get there. There's a little forest for you. And I'll be right back. I gotta go see what she wants. Alright, I'm back. Oh, la-da-dee. Hope this tripod is taking some shakiness out of cam shots. Drop it down. Old lady wouldn't pick me up some um, loaded fries. So you might even get a food review. From Trails End Restaurant, you must be a member. Yeah, it's Trails End. We have our own restaurant here. You got to be landowner. And we have a lot of things in here. Cheers. Let's check out these cheese fries. So much. Can't get right out of the local restaurant. Alright, comes. Let you get the first review. Loaded fries. Oh, where's the tab? Right there. Ah. Got bacon, got cheese on seasoned fry. Loaded fry. There's some sides you can put on it, like sour creams and stuff like that, but I like it just like this. Am I making y'all hungry? Bacon and cheese on fries. Give y'all the munchies. I ain't gonna sit here and eat the whole plate in front of you. Just get a couple in, we'll hit the dab again, or hit the fly present again. Some bacon. Who's a bacon lover? No, you can't have that. That's good shit. That tea banging, homie. No, so let's get back to meditation. And we got two with us. The Jinky. This is Stinky Jinky. Oops, then Dabby just took off. Dabby is our pretty kitty. She's grandma of the bunch. Mm, good as shit. Cheers. Sitting in the shade. Na 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 na. Hi, that one bit me. That indica bite. On that note, actually, I'm gonna go in and get something to drink. Go get some water or something. Alright, I'm back. Go set that in the microwave too, so the cats don't bother us out here. I'll get eaten on that loaded fry, and I have 10 cats trying to get up my lap. With 9 cats. Went for water, I grabbed the Coca-Cola instead. Helped cure the scratchy throat a little bit. Been hitting this dab hard. I call it dab, but it's live resin. Live resin. I need shade. What do you think? Yeah, I do that too. But mostly in the morning is iced coffee. I do 1 hot coffee, make 1 cup, then I put the rest and make iced coffee with it and put it in the fridge for the day. And I usually finish a pot about noon. And then, like if I'm out in the direct heat and working, I go with a tea. So it's a little bit lighter so it don't burn your stomach. But right now, chilling, relaxing in the shade, a Coca-Cola will hit the spot. Bit of caffeine, get a little sugar in it too. And it clean your teeth too. A lot of people say don't drink the Coca-Cola because it can clean battery terminals. And yeah, it sure can clean battery terminals. If you drink a lot of it, it'll affect your teeth. You know, me, I usually have maybe 1 can a day. That's if I go for it. A lot of times it's a tea in the afternoon, coffee in the morning, tea in the afternoon. it, I'd take you out on the overview, show you Skeeter Creek and some of the islands, show you the swamp part of my property. That's also another thing that makes growing good. All this, what you've seen so far in this live, is just the front part of my property. You might have seen a little bit of the side yards. But we'll go back. I built me a little viewer's deck. We can hop up on there and watch NASA planes. They're flying. They got their it's a test facility, training facility. Then it actually does missions out of there too. So it's NASA Wallops Island if you want to Google it up. So far, what I've seen today was satellite planes, which it's two types of training going on. One is training for flying prop planes, and two is communication training to learn how to run a satellite on a plane and communicate around the world. And it's training in that. They're all training. If it's some kind of real mission, it'll pop up on my phone. Since I live that close, they have their own alert system. So if like they're shooting a rocket off, like to the moon or to the atmosphere in general, I would know ahead of time. And I do have videos of rockets going off and drones and some things I can't even explain. And I'm sure it's some kind of testing thing because it's a testing place. But I mean, one of my videos, or two of my videos actually, I caught the orbs, you know, but they were coming from NASA. And when it cut out on me, but some reason wanted to do that, back little glitches. But anyway, I seen three of them, three black fly right in front of the camera, and it's live. I have it on in my video collection, like what is this, what's going on, and when that was going on. Then the second time I caught the orb thing, it was fucking right over my head, and that's the one I can't even fucking explain. You know, it's like, what the hell? Wait a minute, where's everything? It's just a bubble of light. But it did come close enough where you would expect to see more, and there is no more. It's a bubble of light. But that's all NASA. Who knows what they're experimenting on over there? Good Lord. They do got bunkers over there, but I was told it's for more military storage. So they have their 3D radars. They got their own little weather station, warning systems. It's quite set up over there. And my property, more or less the back end of it, goes to a channel that's right off the ocean, right? And right on the other side of that channel is where NASA Wallops Island is. So it's, I say, maybe 200 foot from my actual back of my property to the side of their property, and it's right where the landing strip is. Then with binoculars, I can actually see up into some of their warehouses and stuff. So it's pretty close. You'll see in a little bit. Getting all smoked up right now, chit-chatting for you. It's been a while since I had my chat working, so it's nice chatting with everyone. Double check before I didn't miss no messages. Can't have hot coffee, makes me sick. It does that. But I start off with a hot coffee. and usually it's a strong coffee too in the morning. Well, on that note, you ready for a change of scenery? Got all dabbed up on the break, chit-chatted for a little bit, and take you up on the view deck. Flip the cam. Don't mind the mess. I do a lot of things. I'm gonna put that boat together there. I got a boat already in the water, but I'm building a small boat there. I do all kinds of projects. And into the swamp. Welcome to the swamp. Don't you love grass that grows taller than you? That's why I built this thing. More or less. Set up here. God bless America. Got a little setup going. I don't got my good binoculars out here. A little target practice. I got some toys I like to practice with, and these are target. And let's climb up on the view. View over the marsh. And this is what I use to watch over my part of the property without cutting a lot of trails. What do you think? There's the ocean. Going farthest in the distance, that's Chincoteague Island. And there's the channel I was saying. I'm right behind the channel. The ocean is right over there. But right on the other side of that channel is Nassawallaps. So that's an actual island right there. A little windy up here. The breeze coming off the ocean. I mean, it's much cooler up here. And see, the docks is more or less the back of my property. I do go out in the docks once in a while for lives. And let me zoom me in for a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of see it. There's the gazebo on the water. The docks wrap around my property, so that goes up to where I can drop my boat in the boat slip. Then I got 14 slips, so people, friends with boats and everything, can park up their boat, because that channel there, goes over that way, and the ocean's right there. Besides the one island in the background. And this is one roadway that goes in and out of Chincoteague Island. It's a causeway. And I'm trying to hold the cam still. There in the distance is the launch pads for NASA. There's one. There's a launch pad. I don't know if it's focus in on it. Might have to set up the cam where it's more stable, but on the horizon, 3 different launch pads, their tower, and that runway backside.